and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Dan in the booth. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Now say Taco Dan.
Taco Dan.
Wow.
You got him well trained.
Nice. Yeah, Dan.
I've learned my lesson.
You're really being cooperative. You woke up on the right side of the bed this morning, huh?
It doesn't matter what side of the bed I own.
Okay.
He woke up on the right side of the nail stool.
There we go.
There we go.
Dan will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure you tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We are wrapping up our day here on Versus Live, playing some of the lesser-known decks of Pioneer, trying to gear up for the Open this weekend in Indianapolis. You know, everybody knows about Breach. We all know about Inverter. We all know about Salted Delirium. We all know about Banned Spirits. But, you know, you go to these wide-open tournaments, these big tournaments, you're going to see some weird decks. And, you know, it really helps if you're at least aware of them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you know what cards they're playing and their general game plan, what's out of their sideboard, you know, you don't have to play a million matches against them. You can formulate at least a reasonable game plan and get, you know, don't give up too much of an edge in those matchups. And if you're just sick of playing those top decks and you want, you know, a chance to still be competitive, you know, you're not going to get laughed out of the room.
Yeah.
These are 6 of the better tier 2 options. We
definitely we scoured through just to find decks that could have any hope of being competitive for SCG Indy. And, you know, honestly, I think this is the one I would pick out of all these lists. You know, I like Ram decks. You know, I like Uro decks. But personally, if I'm going to play an Uro deck, I'm going to play Sultai because I think it has better tools and it's a little bit more powerful. But this black-white deck, it's nice and scrappy. You still have plenty of hate cards. There's getting to the trials in there for the combo matchups. I actually
can also be annoying for Breach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very annoying. And you know, I just think Raja Suleiman is his full name, right?
Yep.
I think he really built a really cool deck for Phoenix. I'd be interested to talk to him to see if he would still play this moving forward. Maybe he'll be at the Open. I'm not sure, but I'd be interested to see if he would still stand by the deck.
And he went 8-2 in the constructed portion of this tournament. He lost playing for the top 8 with a complete brew. So definitely put his money where his mouth was and put up an excellent finish. And we will continue to see him at the next Players Tour, I assume.
Yeah,
I assume he had to requeue.
Yeah, that's how that works.
If you're playing for top 8,
I'm sure he even made it to the Players Tour Finals here in Houston. But
I am going to be playing a Boros Feather deck. This is a deck that's been around for a little bit. Definitely one of those things that people brewed early on.
Yeah,
hasn't seen a ton of success, but it is a good low to the ground aggressive deck that is pretty good against more expensive removal spells. I think some of the decks that are playing a lot of the cheap red removal was a big problem for it. Those decks have now declined a lot.
Yeah, there were shocks just in every deck early on.
Yeah.
But now that we're recognizing all this combo, shocks are going away, so maybe this is a time to play that type of deck.
And it's also an aggro deck that can go long. You know, if your early game plan gets disrupted, you can go Feather on turn 4 with a protection spell, and that Feather is going to gain you a lot of card advantage and potentially set up some big turns.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I think we will, maybe we harp on this a lot, but it's something that should be harped on because I look at that deck and I think, okay, how does it do against the combo decks? And, you hate to say, like, okay, there's more decks than this combo deck, but going into the Open, if you're going into playing the Open, if you're going into FNM, whatever, completely different story, but if you're going into this Open, you got to expect it. And I would be a little afraid there, so you'd have to pack a decent amount of hate for it coming forward.
You can do that. We got some Damping Spheres, I think, in this
deck. Oh, yeah.
If I remember. No, we got Rest in Peace. That was it.
We get at them, though. Yeah.
I thought you said we had to tear up all of our Damping Spears and burn them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So
we don't need them.
Rest in Peace is a perfectly fine hate card against Breach. You cannot beat that card if it resolves. So,
also got some Atomics here.
We got them.
Stops you from activating Thespian Stage.
That's true. That's true.
Still gets in there for 2.
Okay, well I gotta get a match against you here.
We'll see.
I can't let you sweep me.
Well, I'm back to having the heinous hand, so that's good.
I'm back to still being Ross Merriam.
We have one land between our 2 hands.
I like it. So we're gonna mulligan and we're gonna take some questions.
Absolutely. From Rallis Fay, if you could see a land cycle introduced into Pioneer, what would it be?
I mean, like a reprinted one or
reprinted? I don't think it really matters.
Just any lands, any groups of land?
Anything that doesn't involve you playing Port Town ever
Yeah,
again.
I just want to see the cycles of pain lands and fast lands completed.
Yeah.
I think that opens up a lot of space for like Selesnya hexproof, Gruul aggro, like 3-color aggressive decks even.
Yeah.
So I think that balances at least the colors, especially for aggressive decks, and that'll help out quite a bit.
Yeah, and I definitely don't think we want sack lands. Like that was the main draw to Pioneer being separate from Modern. But yeah, it always was kind of weird to me that those aren't completed, right? Like that we have some pain lands and we don't have all of the color combinations. It's just not fair.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
And it's especially weird that the lands that are better are with the enemy pairs, which are supposed to be harder to come together.
Yeah. I feel like some of those things are oversights that they just didn't anticipate with this coming as a format.
Yeah, like we don't need a ton of like new lands. I'm sure we'll get some. As new sets come out, they're going to keep running new things. But as far as like modern legal land cycles, like there's no way I want Horizon lands in Pioneer. That's too good.
That sounds kind of fun though.
Maybe filter lands, but are they even good? Like, would you play filter lands? In some decks, I'm sure they would.
Yeah,
right? But they wouldn't be super prevalent. What other lands do you really want? Like maybe you can also complete the cycle of creature duels.
Inverter would definitely play Sunken Hollow though.
Yeah,
or not Sunken Hollow. What's the filter on?
Oh God.
But that'd be good. I mean, you're going Jace and you're also going Inverter. That would be kind of sweet.
Yeah, you'd play like one or two.
Yeah, probably.
And but the other creature duels, you could complete that cycle too. Get some Radiant Ravine, Celestial Colonnade.
Yeah,
into Pioneer. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Let's take one more question from you if you got it.
Absolutely. Let's see what we can find. Okara115 asks, does Lavinia Azorius Renegade seem like a good hate card for Lotus Breach? Let me pull that one up for you guys.
Yeah, I don't know what that one does.
It stops you from casting spells that have CMC more than the number of lands you control.
Okay.
So
people played it against Tron in Modern. It's a human.
Okay. So blue and white for a 2/2 human soldier. Each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with converted mana cost greater than the number of lands that player controls. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. So obviously back half
doesn't seem abysmal. Countering pour over the pages and stuff, or not being able to cast pour over the pages. That seems reasonable.
Granted, you need 4 lands to cast Granted.
Yeah.
You need 8 lands to cast Ugin.
Yeah.
That's it's reasonable if like it's just where does that card fit?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what deck is playing that?
Is Azorius Control putting it in so it can do some beatdowns?
That'd be kind of cool.
It wouldn't fit in Banned Spirits because we have a couple of different ways to do that, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But in Azorius Control, it's a reasonable card.
Yeah.
The fact that it disrupts them and beats down is a real key.
Yeah, it's the thing is it's only for Breach, right?
Yeah.
But we're not expecting any Breach at this tournament, so
as we have said many times.
Yeah, get rid of the hate for that. Hate out Inverter. That's what we need.
Yeah. Okay, what do we got with our 6s here? All
right, mine is keepable. I'm going to put this to the bottom.
And I'm going to put this superfluous card to the bottom. My hand is quite good, actually.
Yeah, mine's not bad either. Okay, so we're going to go with a Inspector, get a clue. Your turn.
I also have a 1/2 for 1.
Oh.
Mine is a Favorite Hoplite.
That's fair. That's fair. We're going to go with a land and pass to you. A block.
No effects.
Okay.
I will play Dreadhorde Arcanist and cross my fingers that it lives.
That it lives? Yeah, I don't really want that to live, so we're going to get that out of there. We're going to untap. All right, not a bad draw there. We're going to go with History of Benalia. All right, 2/2, Knight of Autumn, Night Ally, right?
Yep.
Night Token with Vigilance. Oh, nope, we got these. Okay, perfect.
Oh, yeah, that one's Night Ally's Gideon.
And then I'll attack.
Yeah, my thing was tapped, so I'll take the one.
Your turn.
Got a little antsy untap in here.
How dare you?
It's a pretty good draw. I will play Monastery Swift Spear.
Okay.
And I will attack with my creatures.
This one, I don't have any disruption backing me up, so I'm going to take this.
I will Defiant Strike the Favorite Hoplite. It'll get a counter. I'll draw a card.
I'll take 5.
You will take 5.
15.
I did not find a third land, so I'll just pass.
Hooray! Okay. All right, we're going to draw Chapter 2. I've missed this card. I've missed this card so much. I've missed it so much, I better play it again. All right. So now we got two ones that cannot attack this turn. We'll give you the beatdowns for 3.
I'm at 16.
And then I got a land. Here you go. Oh, history lessons. It's my least favorite class in school, but my favorite Magic lesson. All right, so now we got a total of 3 of these. All right, we're going to use these just for the sake of convenience, but remember, they do have vigilance. We got to show off Autumn's awesome token. World's competitor, Autumn Burchett.
Top 8 competitor.
Top 6.
Top 6.
Yep. They just barely missed. And that was, yeah, one thing we didn't even stress on is how great was that World coverage. Did you watch much this weekend?
I watched a lot on Sunday, but not before then.
Oh, man. What a great production. Magic is actually turning into the old esports, you know? At one point, like in the finals, there's like 100K viewers. You couldn't see the chat because it was moving so fast. I'm like, okay, we are esports now. Let's go.
I am going to gird for battle my 2 creatures.
Okay.
Trigger heroic. So let's look at 2 counters.
Sure.
And I will attack with a 4/5 and a 3/4.
Okay, I think all my blocks are pretty risky here. And we can block next turn, and we're getting more vigilance ones. We're just going to take it.
Okay. I will also Reckless Rage a token and the favorite hot play.
Okay.
So 5 and 4. Take 9.
All right, down to 6.
And I will pass the turn.
Okay. So we're going to get another token here, and we're going to have them level up after our draw. So these are all larger. Let's see. So right now you'd be taking 8, 9. So let's just do that.
I go to 7.
Oh, wait. I'll turn this sideways. You go to 7. We'll play a Gideon. Now we're going to make another one. This one. Oh, wait. These do have vigilance. Yeah, okay. So I guess this is going to kind of get a little confusing. This one does not have vigilance. This is this. Thank you. And then we'll play a land, and we'll say go.
Pro-white this and get in for 6.
Dang it. Dang it. Okay, yeah. I suppose I should have chumped a little earlier. Okay.
But then if you chump, like, I can sort of play, more of that value game. I had a feather to do that.
Yeah, that's fair, too. Yeah, that was just a tough game for me to win there.
Good draw on my side. You really
It was a good draw on my part, too, to be honest. I went history into Gideon, you know?
Yeah, you went Thraben Inspector into Kill Spell into history Gideon.
Yeah, I bottomed a Fatal Push because I had 3-land history, Thraben Inspector and stuff. So in hindsight, if I could have bottomed a land, I think I would have had you there. But I stand by it at the time.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably supposed to chump block with 1, 2, 2, because I don't think that would have affected your clock. If I'm at 11 there and you have 1 fewer creature.
Yeah, because I had a lot of stuff coming through. You're right. I think that was a mistake. Yeah.
I would have had to probably God's Willing on my upkeep. Maybe
Try to find another one or something.
Yeah. Maybe I just play the feather, though.
If you just play feather, I'm pretty scared. And
I was drawing 4th land, so I could play feather with God's Willing, do it on your turn to make a good block.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive. All right, Dan, do you got any questions for us while we shuffle up for our second game?
I do. So Esper asks, do you think that Pioneer will ever have its own identity, or is Wizards just content with having Pioneer become new Modern with a less than stellar mana base?
I mean, I think these formats look completely different. You know?
Yeah. I don't know if there's like there's a real identity to Pioneer yet, but there wasn't really one to Modern at this point in its history either. You got to give it a little bit of time.
Yeah, we got so much time to develop, and I mean, they've still said, I would not be shocked if the bannings aren't done. This is a format that was built and just said, hey, have fun. Yeah, but they made it very clear and apparent that they're going to sculpt it in a way that it is different than Modern. So they are going to be lowering the power level. I wouldn't be shocked if we don't see, even before the next set, 2 cards banned. In 2 months, having 2 cards banned would not be too crazy.
No, I agree. Yeah. And so, and this is really the first time we've seen in the history of the format, since the early weeks where, we're getting these combo decks. And Inverter is not. It's not twin. It's not comboing you that early, as we keep reiterating. Inverter's a very interactive deck.
Yeah.
So right now, Pioneer looks to me like it is a very interactive format, but one with a lot more aggressive decks than your typical standard format.
Yeah.
So it's like a very high-powered standard. It looks closer to standard to me than it does to modern.
Yeah.
I know some people disagree there.
The problem is it has to be super aggressive right now to pressure these combo decks. So if you see these combo decks go away, we are going to see mid-range come back up and stuff like that. But right now, mid-range is just in such a bad spot against combo. Yeah. And that's just true over the history of Magic whenever it comes to that. But yeah.
So to me, what is the identity of modern? Everybody keeps talking about how it's just all decks that kill you on turn 3, and I don't think that's been true for 3 years.
No.
Ever since they banned Cataxian Probe and Golgari Grave Troll, I don't think the format modern has really ever been super.
Modern the decks are good. Yeah. But there's new decks popping up, new iterations on Urza, new iterations on Amulet, as well as still getting Jund, still getting all these mid-range decks. I think Modern's probably the healthiest format of all three of them right now,
Amulet's pretty overrepresented.
That's true. And Standard is actually insanely healthy. It's just kind of the same kind of things that we've been playing for a while, but Standard's in a super good spot.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't fret with Pioneer, at least for right now, with becoming sort of too close to modern. I think if decks like that really get out of hand over an extended period, we'll see a ban come in.
Yeah.
That said, that is what Pioneer will eventually be, right? In 5 years, the format's just going to be way more powerful than it is now.
Yeah.
Modern is the same way. There was a day when Kitchen Finks and Voice of Resurgence were modern staples.
Yeah.
I guess Finks is now back in because of Heliod.
Yeah.
But that's not but Voice of Resurgence used to be a modern staple. It just isn't anymore.
Yeah.
It's completely unplayable.
Yeah. Pretty true.
That'll happen to some things in 5 years, Mm-hmm. I bet Mono Black Aggro will look really stupid in 5 years. You were playing Bloodsoak Champion in your decks.
Wow. Now we have the 1 mana 4/4.
Something like that'll happen. But that's going to take a while.
Yeah, this format is only 4 months old to the general public?
Maybe a little bit longer, right?
It was November.
It's about 4 months.
Yeah. Well, we got so much time to see what it is. Yeah.
Also, a point I'd like to bring up, Yo Larson's in chat and said, I don't know, Jund has always been great versus combo.
Yeah, sure. I'm really feeling the Ross Merriam today.
You got a Thraben Inspector.
That's true. I do have a turn 1 and a turn 2 play. I'm going to mulligan my 6-lander on the play.
Well, my hand's great, so I'll keep...
Okay. This is some bad luck. Is it? Super bad. All right, let's take another question here.
Sure. Never Stop Swoopin' asks, I've been having general success with Jeskai Feathers splashing for Curious Obsession and interaction in the sideboard like Dovin's Veto and Aether Gust. Is this just diluting the mana game plan too much?
You're
splash game plan, excuse me.
Curious Obsession's a powerful card, but...
Yeah, you don't have a lot... My issue with the Obsession in this deck is you don't have a lot of evasive creatures.
Yeah.
I do like the interactive cards that blue gets. I bet your sideboard gets a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm worried about your mana base, though Jeskai is workable, especially because you're more red than white. Your feathers get a lot harder to cast when you go to Jeskai.
Wow.
So there's some give and take there. I'm not super high on Obsession in the deck, but I'm intrigued by the sideboard cards.
Oh, boy. Well, on the play, I think I have to keep this, and it's really bad.
Is this what it's like for you at Every Versus Live?
Wow. I can see how you make this hand phase.
Yeah.
When you're looking down at hands like these. Yeah, this is not my day.
I'm just over here looking at a hand like, I got 3 lands. My mana's perfect. Good.
I got to mulligan this. I'm going to go to 5.
Yeah, you have no white mana.
Five. Five's in chat. Five.
Whoa.
Yeah. Dan, we're supposed to chant 4.
Four.
Remember, I'm the good guy on Versus Live. You're the bad guy that we chant to multi 4 and 3. Yeah.
And hence the chance.
Yeah. All right, we're going to 5. It's going to be a nice 5, though. I have a feeling.
Not nice enough.
We're going to find out. Okay, lands, spells. Oh, yeah, we're keeping.
Lucky.
We're keeping. So I'm kind of incentivized to put this at the bottom, these top two, and do a little bit of curving out here. I could also see like keeping this and trying to go for a little bit more of the long game, but I don't think Gideon is that good in this matchup anyways, so we're going to put Gideon and an extra land to the bottom. All right, 18, Knight, go.
Okay, Vantage, Swift Spear, pass the turn.
Okay.
No reason to attack another one, too. I can block this attack, most likely.
Yep, makes sense. Go.
Well, I will once again put my Dreadhorde Arcanist into the graveyard.
Okay, perfect.
Pass the turn.
Oh, you put it in the graveyard. You just said you put it in the graveyard. Okay, results.
Okay. Well, living is great.
Yeah, that's not great. Okay, we are going to play a land. And we're going to get in there.
No blocks.
Okay, take one.
19.
And then I'll take one, and I'll go with history.
You're at 17.
Your turn.
This is going to be a good turn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
Great.
So I will play a Swift Spear.
Okay.
I will play a Favored Hoplite.
Yeah.
I will play Reckless Rage, targeting Hoplite and the Knight token. Trigger Prowess and get a counter here.
Okay.
Then I will attack and Dreadhorde Arcanist, the Reckless Rage, target Knight and Favored Hoplite, trigger Heroic, trigger Prowess, and you take 7.
Okay, perfect. And this is dead.
No. Read Heroic.
What?
Prevents all damage to be dealt to at this turn.
Dang it! I was like, okay, I'm not letting you take that back at all.
I told you I know how to play with bad decks.
Yeah, you do.
I read the text on the cards.
I don't read those
sometimes.
heinous magic cards. All right, I take infinite.
You take 7, you're at 10.
Wow.
Yeah, Reckless Rage Favorite Hoplite is a Mondo combo.
That is quite good. Okay, so we'll bring this. Okay, well, we'll play another one. I'll take another pain. Get another token, and somehow hope this is good enough.
Before you got here, I spent like a year on Versus Live only ever winning when I double history people.
Yeah.
And somehow you just can't do it. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I would just play 2 histories and the game is over.
Yeah.
I guess you're doing the same thing. It's just
simpler times.
different.
Simpler times. They were followed up with Loxodon, Venerated Loxodons, and all kinds of goodness.
So you're at 9.
Yep. God, I'm getting
What happens-
just beat down on Versus Live today.
What happens if you have a Fatal Push? I would much rather you kill a Swift Spear, so I will Reckless Rage a Knight token and this Swift Spear. And then I will attack and Reckless Rage that Knight token and this Favorite Hoplite.
All right. All right.
Or I had another Reckless.
Wow.
So if you pushed this, then I just do it with the other Swift Spear.
You're
and I've
reckless.
cast 3 spells.
You're reckless, and I'm raging here. So, wow. Wow. Well, this, I mean, yeah, the mulligan can definitely speak for itself in this, but this doesn't feel great. But let's see.
You know, like this deck is obviously built for the Pro Tour metagame, right?
Yeah.
So it was going to be disadvantaged in the matchups against weirder decks.
Yeah.
So I do think you have some good tools for this matchup. I just curved out really nicely, and like Reckless Rage is, I think, one of the major draws to this archetype.
Yeah.
It's just the best. It's such a good removal spell.
Well, and I mean, honestly, Feather was really prevalent in Standard, and it was really good around the time of like, Scape Shift. Like Jund Dino's there for a bit, until that format really kind of got solved where Scape Shift was just the best deck.
But when people were playing more creature decks,
Reckless Rage was insane, but then when Reckless Rage rotated, then, the deck was basically unplayable immediately. People still tried, but it just wasn't the same.
yeah,
So,
Reckless Rage is, it's all of your creatures survive it. It's particularly good with Feather and with Favorite Hoplite.
Yeah, I mean, Prowess and Reckless Rage are just an iconic duo. So, all right, I'm going to see if I can pick up a game at all. We're going to head to the sideboard. I hope I got a lot of removal in there, because that's what you need to beat Feather. And, I got to pick up at least one game
White
here.
deck, you should have some removal.
God, I'm really feeling what it's like to be Ross Merriam here on Versus Live. I'm just getting slapped up. Let's see if we can win a game after this short break. We're going to go to sideboarding. Welcome back to Versus Live here. One of us is sideboarding in our match of Black-White against Boros Feathers.
On for the first 2 games.
Exactly. I'm just having an existential crisis right now, and I just have to change it all up. No, but realistically, I have a lot of bad cards in the main because, like you said, we're really kind of geared towards the metagame that the Players Tour would have been expecting. So, Gideon of Trial is not really good against your evasive big creatures. Also, on the draw, I think Thoughtseize is a lot better. Stripping away some of your combo pieces is pretty important. But on the play, I just want to play my threats that generate multiple creatures like History of Benalia, Gideon, and then just back it up with a bunch of removal. Maybe get Kalidas to do some damage here. Heart of Kieran, I'm not worried that much about evasiveness because I do just want to kill as much stuff as I can here. And then we'll take out the one Thalia here. I don't think that's great. You have a little bit of haste, but it's not super important.
Yeah, it's really only Swift Spear and 1036 Legionnaires.
Exactly. So we're bringing in Devout Decree. This is not going to hit, one of your creatures, your Hoplites.
Favorite Hoplite.
Yep. And then these both hit everything. Glare hits a lot of stuff, not Arcanist. So all my removal is kind of situational, which does kind of suck. And then we got Kaya, which can just be insane. Elspeth Conquers Death for Feather can be very good. And then Kalidas, I think, is going to be absolutely insane.
Yep. And on my side, expecting a lot of removal to come in against an Orzhov deck. I'm going to bring
really sideboard a lot.
I'm going to bring in an extra protection spell. I guess Boros Charm also is sort of a protection spell, but 2 mana is a lot to hold up.
Yeah.
I would bring in the Boros Charm if we were playing under the old rules where the 4 damage could be redirected to a Planeswalker.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Then this could take care of various Gideons while also being a protection spell. But without that mode or without that pattern, I don't think Boros Charm is worth it. And then Gird for Battle is my worst trick because it plays into removal. Sorcery speed, doesn't counterblick Defiant Strike, so that's the one we trim for the presence.
Okay. Well, we got a very different deck on my side, trying to really change roles here. Even on the play, try to be the controller. I do have these random draws where I can essentially put a couple threats down and then kind of be a tempo deck, right? Like, just play some good creatures and just kill everything and hope that that's enough. And sometimes it is against Feather if you get stuck with a lot of pump spells and I'm able to kill your first 2 creatures, like your hand may do nothing, you know? But
Ross, I just did a little bit of looking. Boros Charm can hit Planeswalkers.
Oh, did they errata that?
Yes.
I thought
so. It's it's choose one. Boros Charm deals 4 damage to target player or Planeswalker.
Oh. I thought the way they did those erratas was that anything that said creature or player now says any target, and anything that just says player just stayed player.
I don't know how.
But are all of those now just player or planeswalker?
Because I don't know how they figured that out. That's hitting players. That can't go to planeswalkers.
I guess some of them change, but we don't know.
That makes sense.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm gonna bring these in.
I do not think that's true. Is that really true?
Yes, that's the Oracle text now.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I'll trust our director. That's what he's here for, to direct us.
Yeah, someone brought it up in chat. I'm just like, wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was actually kind of surprised by that as well.
Let's trim some more Gird for Battles and get some Boros Charms in our deck.
Sure, let's help out the guy that's ahead 2 matches and 2 games. Why not? Can we errata some of my cards to do more things? All right, Dan, let's take another question here if you got one as well.
Sure. From Mauritius BR, do you guys believe that Golgari aggro or Golgari elves are strong decks in this meta?
I think beaten down with rotting Regisaurs, and then what's the exile your cards, but it's just black colorless, like Infinite Obliteration or something? Yeah, like something like that can really get these combo decks off guard because you think like green-black, that's not Slaughter Games, that's not Unmoored Ego. And it does have the clock that you kind of need to keep up with these combo decks. So I think that is one deck we should definitely bring some light to on Thursday as a deck that I think can compete.
Actually won the Moto PTQ 2 weeks ago.
Did it?
Last weekend was Dylan Donegan on Inverter. The week before, the Pioneer PTQ on Moto was won by a Golgari Stompy deck.
Interesting.
But as for elves, I actually saw Eric Rill, who is Floatius on MTGO.
Floatius?
He lost playing for top 8 of the Moto PTQ that Todd Anderson lost the finals of with Green Ocean months ago. And he lost to Todd. It was on stream. and he was playing this really cool devotion style deck, but with elves, and he was splashing for Shaman of the Pack.
I remember seeing
and
that,
he played
yeah.
one Teamer Sabertooth to be able to bounce the Shaman of the Pack. And he just recently 4-1 preliminary with it. So I
Cool.
guess he's still playing the deck, even
Yeah.
though like 6 cards from it got banned.
I love it. I love it. You know, there's certain people that just play their style of deck until they just get it taken out of their hands, and I can appreciate that.
But that's another deck that really clocks people, and like Shaman of the Pack is a powerful Magic card.
Yeah.
So before you guys start, chat has brought up 2 important points. First off, the Boros guild pack from Ravnica Allegiance has Boros Charm with that errata. And also, the formatting is that if it was target player, then it's target player or planeswalker.
Okay. If it targets.
But Chandra Torch of Defiance, because it doesn't target,
Chandra doesn't
get that.
target. Yeah.
I mean, I know Chandra Torch of Defiance doesn't hit Planeswalkers
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. That's just weird, though. Like
That is pretty odd.
the goal should just be preserving the prior functionality, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And-
Because Chandra
Yeah,
did
because
get a
it's
lot
each
worse, yeah.
opponent, not target opponent.
Yeah.
For Chandra's +2.
And they didn't
Or
want to
+1.
errata it to something like each opponent, or Planeswalker they control. I don't know exactly.
Who knows?
Yeah,
That's a lot
it's-
of text. I guess they
The only errata for Chandra is the -7, which deals 5 to any target now.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, my hand doesn't have any creatures in it, so I'm going to mull.
I'm going to keep, but this is not exactly the hand I want up against a heavy creature matchup, but we're going to keep.
Sounds like another double history draw.
Oh, God, if only. It's nowhere near that good. Dan, you got another question for us while Ross shuffles up?
Yeah. Jack Frost 5. Ross.
What happened to the first 4?
I
You
don't
don't
know.
know.
They melted.
They melt. Oh, touche.
Like that bad horror movie.
Ross, what are your thoughts on Titan Strength
yeah,
versus Samus's Sprint?
So I think I prefer Titan Strength almost entirely because of the... Oh, no, do they both scry?
The sprint gives him haste, I think,
Yeah,
right?
it's +2/+1 in haste versus +3/+1. Does Samus Sprint scry?
Samus's Sprint scries.
You know what card I actually think would be pretty good in that? The extreme velocity or whatever, the enchantment that escapes. Like, that card actually seems kind of nice, like as a 1 or 2 of.
Yeah.
You know? Because you don't use your graveyard very much.
Just doesn't work with Feather, but like...
Yeah. But that's why it wouldn't be a ton. Yeah.
I
Maybe
kinda-
just 1.
If you're not battle raging, then I kind of like Samus Sprint. I think the haste is going to be worth more than the extra point. Because the haste represents like multiple points.
Yeah.
It's either going to trigger prowess or trigger heroics, so your creature's going to be at least 2 power, or it's going to be targeting a feather, that's 3 extra power, or it's going to be targeting Dreadhorde Arcanist, where you're getting 1 power and another spell.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I kind of like Samus Sprint. I
I
forgot
kinda
that
like
it's
that, too.
Scryed, and that was going to be a big
Yeah,
deal for me.
it's-
But if they both
it
Scry,
gives
then yeah,
haste
give
as
me
well.
Sprint. Yeah, it's
And they
+2/+1 in
they
haste.
both
I remember
sprint.
that
That's
part.
for sure. It's about time you mold a 3 or so.
This is definitely a keep. I just have to figure out which one I want to put on the bottom.
Okay.
And I almost think it should be this one. It's one of these two. It's one of the more expensive creatures, I think.
Okay.
Actually, maybe it's not. Maybe it's actually this one. Because then I just have a natural curve and my hand's more powerful. Yeah, okay, I figured it out.
Boom. Your go.
I will play a... Well, that's kind of punishing. I'll play a favorite help.
Okay.
You're up.
All right. Let's go with a... God, this card is just not that good. All right, we're still going to play it. Scrounger, your turn.
Attack for 1.
No blocks. All right.
You're 19.
Okay,
You're
done. Oh, that was the worst draw. All right, we'll attack.
I don't want to play into a removal spell, even though it's not super likely, so I'll take it.
Thoughtseize.
My hand is not very good.
Yeah, well, join the club.
Really wish this Boros Charm was a Gird for battle.
Yeah, no kidding. That's interesting. I don't think I can really beat a feather too easily, but
Can't
you don't have
even cast
anything to do with it. Boros Charm is not very good right now. All right, we'll take the Arcanist.
Okay, 17 all.
Here you go. Our hand needs a specific thing. Can you guess what it is, chat? I have no blocks.
Double strike.
Okay.
Take 6.
Okay. 11.
You're up.
Not the worst. Attack.
14.
Gideon, make a token. Your turn. Gideon.
Oh, got punished.
Nice.
Should have expected that. But I will
The chat just told you can kill Gideon with that. What are you doing?
attack Gideon for 2.
All right, no blocks.
Gideon goes to 2.
Okay.
I'll go to 12 and play a feather.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
You said 12? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, shock.
You've been taking some pain.
Yeah. Scrappy Doo over here. He's been putting in some work.
Scrappy Doo. All right. Well, this isn't great. That was a pretty poor draw. Gideon does not look like it's going to be going very well, so I think we might as well get in some damage. Attack.
7.
Okay. Knight. Put a counter on it. Go.
Yep.
Our mana base is treating us well, to say the least.
Yeah. Okay. My other attacks are not good, so let's send the feather at Gideon
Gideon's down.
and play a swift spear.
All right.
Pass the turn.
Right on time.
Really use a defiant strike.
Okay, well, we're gonna bring in the pain here.
So this is currently an attack for 5. You can pump and make it an attack for 8, and I'm at 7.
Take it.
So we're gonna make some blocks.
Okay.
I figured that out.
Bold.
The question is, what blocks am I going to make?
I think the no block plan sounded a little better to me. Do I know your card in hand? I don't, right?
You do not.
Okay. You want to tell me it?
You're going to see it pretty soon.
Okay,
'Cause I think the block I want to make is one that forces you to spend your mana activating the knight or lose it.
Counters over there.
Yeah. And also deals with the scrounger. So I am going to Boros Charm, give that double strike. Oh, it's actually just going to deal with the knight. Perfect. And prevent damage to it. And it's going to get exiled from this. So,
Does that get exiled?
yeah, because it targets a creature.
Oh, okay. All right, well. Avison.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Not bad.
So, yeah, Avison trade it, gets my Swift Spear.
Okay, and go.
And Septus comes back.
Okay.
Avison,
Only if you target things with that,
yeah,
right?
if it's a...
So if you just deal the damage, you do not get it back with
Yeah,
feather,
or
right?
the indestructible mode, because that's to all my things.
Oh, but it doesn't target it.
Correct. The only target mode is the double strike mode.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, I thought you were saying you also get it back if you indestructible. I was like, I don't know about that.
I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
Well then. This is awkward.
Avison does tend to do that to games.
But not completely untenable.
Yeah, where was my ballista when I needed it?
2, 3. So I'm going to need to leave 3 blockers. So if I do that, if I need to leave 3 blockers, let's just attack with this one.
And I'm at 11, you're at 7?
Yep.
Well, if I put Avison... I'll block.
Yep. I'm going to double strike this, have it get exiled from Feather.
Okay.
I'm going to shock for this, go to 5.
Okay.
And end step this comes back. And you can go to your upkeep, and Avison will trigger.
Yep. Avison, trigger. So triggers on the stack?
Yep. You have priority.
Well, I mean, now I can just let priority resolve, right?
No, you have priority first because you're active player. It's your upkeep.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I can just let it resolve now, right?
Well, are you passing priority to me? So you got priority first, then you pass to me, and if I pass, then the ability resolves.
Yeah, I'm thinking I pass priority to you because if you let this resolve, I just get to attack and you have to chump with Feather. So yeah, I'll pass priority to you.
Okay, all indestructible my team.
Okay. And now I have the choice between pumping Knight to keep it alive, which seems pretty reasonable to me. I still can't kill you, and I can't really with any particular draw, so yeah, we'll pump this.
That dies. I go to 2.
And I go to, it's
Each opponent.
Oh, wow, sweet. Yeah. Okay. Draw.
Now I have 3 blockers for Corey's 3 attackers.
Yeah, and they're still indestructible, so there's no point in attacking.
Yeah.
I could play this on tap to give a nice little blocker there. I don't think that's worth it. So I'll just pass to you. So now you'll have to leave a decent amount of blockers back. On board, you'd have to leave back 3 just to stay alive, but any removal from a very concentrated all removal deck is pretty troublesome for you.
Attack for 3.
3. I mean, if I just block with Avacyn, you could have a lot of stuff. So whatever, I'll just take it.
You go to 8.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
Untap. Okay. It's probably a good draw. What do I think you'd have? I could easily see it being within your range to just completely bluff me there. I could also see a pump spell being good. All right, we're going to start with a cast down here. All right. We will go.
I drew a feather.
Yep. Could have easily saw it being a bluff, and there's no way I wasn't going to try.
Yeah. At that point, I needed reckless rage.
Yeah, and you needed to do something, that's for sure. But
if I had the reckless rage,
it would have been quite reckless.
Would have done something good.
But we definitely got time for another game.
That we do.
Yeah. All right. And you know what else we got time for?
Is it a question?
Yeah, we got time for that. Yeah.
You had me worried there. I was like, wait, where's he going with this?
We like to keep you on your toes, Dan.
Yeah, yeah.
And then on the stool.
Yeah, yeah. We like to keep you on the toes on the stool.
Please don't.
With one leg out at 90-degree angle.
Exactly. One spike coming out the stair.
Doing a one-legged plie.
All right. Pokemon.
Wow.
Pokemon asks, hey guys, would you consider Jeskai Fires a tier 2 Pioneer deck or not at all?
It's one of those decks that you occasionally see around, so sure.
It pops up. I would say it's more knocking on 3's door, but yeah, I don't think that deck is quite there. Quite there. Fires right now, once again, in a combo-centric world where you know they can't interact. Not a great spot to be at. Not a great spot.
But my super friends.
Hey, I love a good super friend just as much as the next person. Don't get me wrong, but... Oh my, a hand we can keep. I am blessed.
I can also keep.
An opening 7.
Take one, please.
19.
You're up.
Alrighty. Well, let's go with... It's actually close. God, this land is so bad in this deck.
Is it Isolated Chapel?
Yep. It sure is. All right, go.
Okay. Take 3.
Okay.
You're at 16.
They're getting closer.
You're up. They're also getting bigger.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we are going to start with...
you're about to say go there with your land tapped.
Yeah, that's not great, huh?
Yeah, I would not suggest that.
I wouldn't recommend it. All right, we're going to go with Thraben and push this. Get our clue and pass to you.
Attack for 3.
Still coming at me. All right, I'll block the Swift Spear.
Take 2.
All right,
14.
done.
Yep.
Okay. What do we want to do now? I think I want to just progress my board here. We're going to go with this and Glory Bound. Get a couple clues. Go. What you know about Glory Bound Initiate? You know that it's a perfect Reckless Rage target? Guess you would have did that at end step, probably.
Probably.
It would have been reckless of you, but I would have raged.
I will play a feather
Okay.
and pass the turn.
Ooh.
I don't want to be like forced to trade for mediocre cards in combat with my tricks. I'd rather just hold up protection for this feather, which I definitely have.
Oh, do you? Oh, do you? I'll exert.
No, this is fine. 16 to 18.
18 to 16, and you know what? I don't know if I want to play into this feather, but maybe I just have to. All right, we don't ever believe Ross Merriam here on the show, so Devout Decree.
God's willing.
Oh,
Trigger feather.
okay.
Pro white.
Okay,
This card is awkward with feather, so let's
that's a
bottom the
little
Dread of
awkward.
Darkness.
Okay, pass to you.
End step, this comes back.
Yeah, that's not great.
I have God's willing.
That's not great.
That's a pretty good one. And so what happens if you I'm pretty sure I can blow you out no matter what you do, so I'm
Yeah.
just attacking.
I think you're probably pretty right. That's when you say math is for blockers.
This is gonna go well for me. I'm sure it will. Don't worry, chat. It's all gonna be okay.
God, do we have to hope you just don't have another spot? I mean, you get to just God's willing and bring it back. I'll take it. None of these blocks are good for me.
Okay, if you're gonna take it, then I am going to double strike 10th District Legionnaire, get a counter scry 1.
Sure.
That card's insane. Take 11.
Okay.
Okay, you're at 7.
I'm at
End
7.
step, this comes back. Go.
All right. I'll sack a clue. All right.
I really hope that just like hit your phone that's lying on the ground.
Yeah, me too. At this point, I deserve it. Wow, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. Okay, your turn.
Seeing as you already just looked at it. I'm sure this will go well. It went well the last time.
It did go well. I didn't like it. I'll animate.
Animation is fine.
Block.
I'm gonna Reckless Rage the Mutavault and the Feather.
Okay, I'm gonna tap it for mana. And that gains prowess too, huh? Okay.
Yeah, so now we got a 2/3.
Seems great. Seems great. All right. May I block?
Yeah.
All right. Well, with the mana, I will go with Doomblade.
I will God's willing.
Fatal Push.
A Johnny's presence.
Oh. I'm very dead. I'm
You're
probably
gonna be-
just actually dead.
I mean, you're forced to double chump here, and then
Yeah.
you exert this to live through the Boros charm,
Yeah.
and then you have no blockers on the way back.
Yep. It's pretty rough when your sorcery speed removal is never going to resolve. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a beating.
Well, when you didn't believe me, my hand was a Johnny's presence, God's willing.
I know. I should have believed you. You do like to flex on me by actually telling the truth, and then when I go the other way, you're like, see? I wasn't lying.
He's not wrong.
It's all about mind games at this point. All right. Well, I guess first order of business.
It's not all about mind games. It's all about marbles.
It is
You
all
got
about
one letter
marbles.
right.
Yeah. Well, GG's, brother. You kind of crushed me today.
You got to learn how to play bad decks.
I know. You know what? I really tried to do this thing where I like playing the good decks and just win with
Yeah,
them.
win a lot, but you can't
Yeah.
win here when we're playing tier 2 decks if you don't know how to play them.
God, it sounds like. So you're saying for me to be a pro tour level player where I am going to be good at limited and constructed, I have to be playing jank decks like this to get better at it?
I'm saying in order for you to be a good versus live player, you need to throw away like half the tournaments that you play in. You know?
Just for the marbles? Yeah, that seems worth it.
I don't play Is It Delver in Modern for the fun of it. You know?
That's fair. That's fair.
I play it in preparation. Yeah,
Smart.
and then when you train your draft, you're like, okay, I know how to get scrappy.
Yeah, I know how to 2-1 with this at least, because then I'd win the marbles. If you 2-1 wins championships, okay?
Yeah.
Marble championships.
66% D's get degrees.
Wow. Wow. That was impressive. All right, so Ross is going to take the marbles. We got time for some questions here. Let's take like 3 of them. Fire them at us.
Oh, man.
And any
Literally,
burns you got?
Write them down on a piece of paper and just throw them.
Yeah, any burns you got, I now deserve them. So if Harlan's still in chat, tell him how the weather is here.
I still had a burn spell left in my hand in that game.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you want it? Did you want this board?
Yeah, I do.
It looks like we don't have any questions actually queued up.
Wow,
Oh, wait.
okay.
Okay, well, let's
Okay.
chastise chat for 5 minutes. What do you think we're here for?
We're
Chat,
here,
come on.
We're here to serve you. We want to answer your questions, and
I'm
you're
here
just,
to serve you. Just
Yeah,
like I did the last
Well,
week.
you did do that pretty handily.
All
today.
right, here we go. Here we go. First
Now they all
off,
exploded
Chart
when-
Max with a burn. Corey, get a haircut.
Get a haircut.
Get a haircut.
Oh, okay. I did deserve that.
I meant to
Yeah,
get
bum.
this week.
Yeah.
I'll do that tomorrow.
The fro is gonna stay though. Get used to it. It's
All right.
sticking. It's sticking. I got 6 weeks in a row that I'm on the road.
Yeah.
Those 6 weekends, you best believe the fro is staying. Maybe that 7th weekend.
You
I'll
need to
consider
pick it out a little, though.
Oh, I could. I did take. I woke up early to do something, and then I took a nap, and then I was like, oh man, I gotta go to Versus Live. So my hair maybe be a little staticky right now. So I'll take that burn.
All right.
It's just jealousy.
We got one.
Yeah.
So from BGX Mage, Ross, are there any cards in Pioneer that you are surprised aren't making a splash?
So the biggest one for a while was Collected Company, and
Yeah.
now we're starting to see it in Bant Spirits.
Yeah.
I called it. I called it.
We're
I'm the
seeing
smartest
it
man
in
alive.
Azuria's spirits, right? I mean, like, it is just a blue-white deck that found a home for the Collected Companies, but
So after that, a little surprised about Treasure Cruise, but not super surprised. This is a
Yeah.
format that definitely favors Dig Through Time over Cruise.
Yeah.
Actually, my article this week is about cards that have been disappointments in Pioneer. I go over 5 of them that were very good in their particular standard environments or in Modern, and things like that, and talk about why they haven't shown up in Pioneer.
Yeah.
So it's an article it's an article about card evaluation, but it talks about a lot of these different cards. But at this point, like I've thought about it enough that I'm not surprised in hindsight.
Yeah.
But going in, like if you listen to the first episode of Pioneer Cast, we talked about cards that we expected to be pillars of the format.
Don't worry,
Collected
nobody
Company
did.
Was near the top of my list. The birds are supposed to come from chat.
oh, sorry. I'm feeling salty. I gotta get my digs in while I can
Yeah.
since you destroyed me today.
You're at Convention Center pretzel level of salt.
Oh yeah. I might even get a little extra salt on it.
Yeah.
The
Well-
patented Ross Merriam salt meter back in
Yes.
effect.
Dan made a salt meter during an
Yeah.
episode of this is before we were live.
Yeah.
When we pre-taped it, and I was particularly salty that day, and he made a salt meter, and I remember Convention Center Pretzel, and the last was Dead Sea. That was the highest
That
level.
was that was the maximum. We had Himalayan salt lamp in there.
Wow.
It was really good.
Well, to be fair, versus live, it used to be a lot hotter in this room, from my understanding. So it could literally be salty. Yeah.
Zero salt was peanuts, or that was like stage 1.
That doesn't make any sense. There's salt on those.
They could be unsalted.
That's fair.
I forget what zero was. That was a while back.
It was good. This was a couple years ago.
I like it.
At this point, I'm not super surprised by anything.
So one thing I want to touch on when it comes to that is if we were to see Dig Through Time ban, which it's probably the one of the cards with the biggest targets on its head now. But I would not think that kills Inverter. I bet they just play Treasure Cruise. It's probably a 3 of instead of a 4 of, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Cruise is, it's not. In the abstract, it's not a huge downgrade. But in that deck in particular that is trying to find its combo pieces, it might be.
That's true. But it's also trying to get rid of your graveyard. Like, that's a big part of it. So you might need, maybe it's only a 2 of, and it changes a little bit. But I bet the deck wouldn't be dead.
I was talking with Andrew Jessup, and his idea if Dig gets banned is to play Tassiger and Stubborn Denial. And have this, Delvery plan.
Yeah, I forgot Tasker is legal. Zombie Fish is legal too.
Yeah, they're all there. Okay. They're all in the same 2 sets.
Yeah, definitely just not as good without fetch lands and stuff.
Yeah. So, but we'll see if Dig gets banned. We'll see Cruise pop up.
Yeah,
that's just gonna happen. But it's just not as good. Like Cruise has always been better in the very proactive decks, and we don't have the same level of cheap spells. And the good cheap spells we do have are disruption spells. They're Fatal Push, Thoughtseize. Those kinds of things are just gonna be better with Dig Through Time.
Yeah,
it plays that disruptive game plan better. But it's not that much of a drop off.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think this is going to draw us a pretty good close for Versus Live today. This is our nice little Tier 2 day. Next Thursday, we're gonna bring you the decks we expect. I have a couple finely tuned. I haven't been only playing Breach, but I'm gonna bring you the finely tuned list for Breach. I know I want to dibs that Sultai deck because I got a pretty nice list as well.
One thing, if you haven't learned it by now, I hate rock decks. So you can take every rock deck.
But it has Nissa. Come on, you destroy me with Nissa.
There's one Nissa in it. You have 2?
They all have 2.
Most lists I see have 1 now.
Well, most have 2. Some have 2.
Yeah.
Anyways.
The original had 2.
Anyways, we're going to be bringing you the Tier 1 decks and maybe a little tuned decks that we're going to tune in such a way that these are what we would play if we were heading in, including, probably pretty close to the decks we will play. Next 2 days is time for BCW to go into the lab and get a good list. So let's thank some subs. We're going to thank some sponsors after that, and we'll get out of here.
We only got the 1 sub. This is Sonar Loser, new subscriber.
Okay.
But we did get a crap ton of followers thanks to Croaky's raid. So
all right, perfect.
thank you to all the followers.
And thanks to Croaky's, thanks to all his community. We appreciate y'all sticking around to see something new. I know this arena interface isn't exactly what you're used to, but
this is Arena. This is what Arena is now.
Exactly.
We're playing on Arena right now.
Paper cards, gotta love it. But we'd be happy to have you back anytime. We do the show on Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern time every single week, both days. But before we go, quick shout out to our sponsors. Huge thanks to Coalesce Apparel. If you want to get some nice shirts, I know we're going to be representing these shirts here pretty soon.
Oh yeah,
get some nice Roll Tide shirts. Keep it 100. I'm gonna wear that one. I think that's my fave. I just like keeping it 100.
I'm a Simic Combine. Ooh. So I'll be rocking that one a lot.
A lot of good ones. If you want to check out more of those shirts, go to coalesceapparel.shop. You can enter promo code SCG. Get yourself 10% off. But that's not the only place you can get 10% off. Look at that beautiful man right there. And look at that beautiful chair he's sitting in. Ross doesn't look half as good without that chair. Trust me. If he's sitting in a normal chair, it doesn't bring out his eyes as much.
I'm basically a bridge troll.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So if you want one of those chairs that makes us all look good, go over to karnoxchair.com/SCG. You get 10% off there as well. And if you like these sleeves that we've been representing, these are the Katana sleeves by Ultimate Guard. They are awesome, super smooth to shuffle. We have not had any broken corners since then, and that's a big thing when it comes to sleeves for me, because tournaments are long.
Yep.
And I've had to de-sleeve and re-sleeve up before top eights. Doesn't seem like these sleeves are really those type. They're very durable. So.
Did a great job with the sponsor score. You did miss one thing, though.
What did I miss?
You missed the 100% off promotion we're running with Carnox.
Oh, yeah.
If you tweet at Cedric Phillips about how much you love Versus Live, I promise you will get 100% off.
You'll get 100% blocked from him, and you'll get 0% off. So maybe don't do that. But thank you to everyone who watched today. Appreciate it, even though it didn't go well for me this time. Ross will be taking the marbles.
Phillips.
We had a good one. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We will be back Thursday to bring you more Pioneer action and get you ready for SCG Indianapolis this weekend. We'll see you later.